Afternoon, how do you go about analysing it?
Yeah, really disappointed. You turn up in fourth, and we know we've got a tough period of games coming up, so we knew this was going to be a very important first one of those. Of course, we've been winning games. We won the last two. We've been doing well, but I'm not going to gloss over it today. We were very poor. I think first half we've had some moments. We were quite extreme today. We had some moments where we've passed the ball and got into some decent areas. Cots has put a great ball in that Clates really should score. Dave Davis, we've passed the ball well and Dave Davis ends up hitting the post. But we concede a very poor goal, the first of three set pieces, which shouldn't happen. Roberts gets a free header. But we had some warning signs. We struggled to dominate that little space behind our midfield and in front of our back four. I didn't think we won enough first headers. I felt that their two centre forwards made it difficult for us to clear our lines, and the ball dropped down and they ended up getting onto those second balls. They came quite clearly to work incredibly hard and try and be tougher than us and work harder than us and block the game up themselves, and I thought they did that really well. But so there was some moments first half. I'm not going to say there was loads of moments. We didn't play with enough composure and quality. And then second half, to get Dave, I think there was a moment first half where Kent actually, I've seen it again, so I'm not saying it off the back of being disappointed about losing, but Kent dives for a penalty. The referee rightly books him. He actually dived 3 minutes later and did exactly the same again, and the referee's 10 yards away. I just think maybe if he was a bit braver, he would have sent Kent off, which of course changes the game. But as it was, it doesn't really matter to us. We've still got to go and play and compete, and we didn't do that well enough, But even when Dave Davis got sent off himself, he's won the ball, but he's jumped in, and I can understand why that gets a booking. 10 years ago it'd be an unbelievable tackle, but nowadays it's too aggressive. So I think the point from there on in was actually with 10 men we started to show a bit more composure. We made the changes. We went for it a little bit and got more attacking players on the pitch. And I think there was 10 minutes left. It looked to me like we might get back into it. We had some moments. Then we concede a really poor set piece when all just runs across one of our centre halves, and we don't even look like we're going to get close to him. 5 minutes later or whatever it was, to do exactly the same again for free. And I think 3-0, I think flatters the scoreline and makes it look worse than it was, but certainly wasn't good enough. And those standards, to maintain those standards, to stay in fourth and stay around those levels is difficult. We know that's not easy to do. But certainly on today's performance, we looked to me a little complacent out there. We looked to me like we didn't work anywhere near hard enough to get a result, and that's not really us, so we've certainly got to do a lot better.
You say you've got to do something a lot better. Tough game next week, going to Newcastle.
Yeah, well, we knew that this was the start of a tough period. We're having a testing period anyway at the moment, because we've got a lot of players that we seem to miss a game, or we seem to lose a player, or we've got a player who's not available. And it makes it difficult because we've had that a lot more than we've probably had the last couple of years. And when you've got quite a thin squad, that becomes a challenge. But we've got enough players on the pitch today to go and win the game, So it'll be a good test next week, and we'll certainly see how much character we've got in the group, won't we? Because it won't be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. But then I think we've got Ipswich, we've got Brighton after that. So we've got some tough games coming up. And we've certainly got to get back to that home form that's got us into this position in the first place.